Good evening, everybody. Welcome to PatFacts, 9th of September, 2020. Hope everybody's having a great day. Sorry for a little delay in the start, a little delayed getting home from work and getting the shower and disinfecting process going because of that. So a little delay, but we're still here and we're still good to go. Hopefully you can join us or you're catching the replay. Again, if you're watching those replays, reminder, leave us a comment, leave us a note so that we know you were here. We don't want to miss you. We want to be able to say hello, know where you're tuning in from. And again, just to be sure that, hey, Bonnie, the message is getting out there. We're covering content that's applicable to you. And again, it's a way to help keep each other accountable. If I have a friend who I jokingly said she owes me 10 push-ups every time she forgets to come on. The other night, I ran into her on the chat that we're a part of for the music, and she asked, "Do I owe you push-ups tonight?" I said, "No, you're good, but tomorrow night we go live, so we'll see." Hey, Sheila, good to see you again. Welcome back. Again, if you're here, recording or live, I appreciate you being here. Leave us a little comment so we know that you're here, and again, that's what we're doing is relevant. And again, if you have suggestions or ideas, feel free to shout those out in the comments or send me a DM, and we'll do our best to accommodate that as well. Because again, we want this to be for each other, to help each other get better. Hi, Jen. Thanks for the check-in. Again, enjoy your painting tutorial. We'll catch you on the replay. Yeah, you're lucky, Bonnie. It's not you for the push-ups. So for tonight, what I want to talk about, and if you see it on Facebook, you probably saw the note, the highlight: teamwork makes the dream work. And I'm coming at this from a couple of different areas. And some of this we've talked a bit about, but I really want to hammer it home given the situation kind of in front of us. For some of us, or I guess for all of us with children, this week is the first week back at school. For some here in Barrie, they've started already. Some start tomorrow. There's some staggered starts and different things going on. But basically, this is the first week of school since March. Everybody had a 6-month March/summer break, however you want to look at it. So people are heading back. And a friend of mine posted a kind of a back to school picture, and I thought her caption or her quote, whatever we're going to call it, was really well said. And she kind of said, you know, kids are going back to school and hope they have a great first day. And then she mentioned kind of at the end, kind of her choice for the kids to go back to school. And she mentioned that she said, I feel like we should stop referring to the kids as pawns and chess pieces and this and that, and just be supportive of the families, whether they chose to have their kids go back to school or to not have their kids go back to school. That's their personal choice. And I thought that was really a really great post and great words, because it's true, really. If you don't agree with the back to school process and you're not comfortable with it, obviously that's your opinion and you're entitled to it. You can feel that way, but we should just really be supportive for the kids as best as we can be. The kids that I've seen, and my daughter's excited to go back. And the kids I've seen around at the store and things are excited to go back. Again, everyone has different situations that influence maybe their choice as far as going back or not. But let's all be a supportive community and support the decision, whatever it is. Again, those that decided to keep their children home, that's their decision. They felt that was best for them. That's perfect. That's your decision. That's what's best for you. I support that decision. Again, we want to try to control our controllables. We can only control what we're doing. And for some people, that's the hard part of kids going back to school, because you can't control all the other families or what they're exposed to or what they're doing. You don't really know unless you are close with them. So it's tricky. It's a tough decision. A lot of factors gone into it. I know for us, we kind of went back and forth a bunch of times. I had a one day where I literally did little conference calls with buddies of mine to see what they were doing, and talk to other some health experts and things to try to get it to an educated decision. And basically, we all came back to the point that it's all new. There really is no right decision. We just have to do what's best for ourselves. And then for us and for everybody, I think the emphasis will be on, we've talked about it here before, being consistent with our procedures, with what we're doing. So if we're consistent and diligent, that's going to help us. So we've set up sort of our after school and work routine. My daughter's seen me do it for 6 months. When I come home, I go right upstairs, shower, work clothes, go in the basket, and then I come down and we can have some close contact. But I want to make sure I get that chance, that cleaning and that cleansing kind of done. She's going to be on the same schedule now. She comes home from school, clothes off, have her shower or bath right away. I'll have mine. We'll clean up, and then we'll hang out and have kind of our close contact, just to be extra careful and to give everybody that reduced the risk. And again, we're just going to control what we can control as best we can. But I think it's very important, again, to be supportive of each other and create that good team or community, however you want to look at it. And again, just support people in their decisions. Be there for them. Just like anything else in life, you're not always going to be around people that you agree with 100% of the time. You may have to work with or live with people that you don't always agree with, or just be around people or family that just have different views and different perspectives of things. We just do our best to get along, be respectful of those people, or if we need to, distance ourselves from them. So in this case, again, hopefully we can be supportive, try to see it maybe from their perspective. And if you don't agree with it, then just let them, again, that's their thing. Let them do that. Maybe you can, if you're at a point, you can discuss it with them, or if they ask for your opinion, maybe you could give them some insight, or again, maybe the other side of things. If it can be a discussion and not throwing things in their face, which we want to try to avoid. But let's really be a supportive team here and again, help this needle move forward. Ideally, we can get back to this. We can get things going and be, again, consistent with what we've been doing. Be cautious, be positive, that hopefully things won't pick back up. Things in general are picking up around our areas lately. So there's been a hold put on the next wave of opening because numbers are sort of creeping back up. So as kids go back to school and we're going back to work, again, we're trying to not forget what we're doing habit-wise that we've instilled in these last few months as far as fitness or nutrition or hobbies. But let's also not forget those health habits we've implemented these last few months. Hand washing, getting a good night's sleep, eating well, trying to limit or reduce our stress as best we can, or have those breaks from it. Those are all things that are going to help boost our immune system and not compromise it. And the more our immune system can be strong, again, the less the chance we'll be at risk for something like this. So let's not forget all of these good practices we put in place, or some of these practices we've been told to put in place. And some things, in reading some of the back to school procedures and policies and the things to remember, really it's kind of things we should be doing anyway, that maybe we just got a little bit lax in because things were okay and, oh, we can get to that later, or everything's fine, we'll just do this quickly or that. But looking at it and reading it, a lot of the things are kind of things we should be looking at as far as cleaning things up well when we're done using them, especially if it's in a multi-use area, washing our hands when we're done, before we eat, after we eat, all those things. We should be doing that stuff anyway. We just kind of get into that routine, right? That rut where we just kind of go with things and we just sometimes lose those habits for whatever the case is, those good habits. So I think, again, this has been our time to refresh on that and remind ourselves of those habits, to be really, really sure we cover our mouth when we cough or sneeze. Again, with ideally our elbow is what they're saying now, so that, again, it's not on our hands as we're touching things. If I have allergies, bad allergies, so I sneeze quite a bit. So I will make sure I leave my mask on when I sneeze, and I cover my mouth. So there's double there. It's kind of TMI, maybe it's kind of gross after you sneeze, but it's my sneeze. So whatever, it's there. I make sure, again, that I wash up once I have things off. But for me, I think the mask plus I cover, that's twice the barrier in someone's way, because a sneeze has a lot of force behind it. So we want that extra security, and that's my thing. That's what I feel is good to do. So again, let's keep those practices in place. Let's keep those thoughts in our head of doing that. And again, taking care of ourselves, getting some movement in, whether it's an exercise class, a workout, hey, Natty, whether it's just some physical activity, going for a nice walk, maybe doing some yard work, raking the leaves because they're starting to turn color, so they'll probably be falling soon. Again, just something leisurely, a little stretch or something. That movement helps, again, flush some things out. It gets our heart rate up. It gets lots of oxygen to those muscles. It lets processes happen in the body that need to happen for growth and repair to happen. It helps us de-stress a little bit too, which we need to do. Again, helps our immune system if we can have that balance of ideally a little more down here. But again, life happens. But if we can take the time to turn that off, sometimes our immune system, again, our body can regenerate and recover. We're not inflamed. Inflammation that a lot of us suffer with is because we're at such a high level, tension-wise. We're at that high alert more than we're supposed to be. We should only go there when we need to and then come out of that, as you've heard me mention. But because we're there all the time, there's lots of fluid and things being sent to the body to prepare it to fight or flight. We're kind of in that response a lot. And then that's sometimes when we can experience extra inflammation around the joints and tissues that shouldn't be there. So it helps flush some of that stuff out too. Good night's sleep. Again, we've talked about sleep here. That lets, again, the body recover. First 4 hours of sleep, I believe it was, your muscles, your physicality recovers. And the more of that's before midnight, the more ideal and the more efficient the recovery is. But getting that good night's sleep, good quality of sleep, again, helps everything unwind and release and let your mind have a break. And those muscles and cells can repair and regenerate how they need to. And again, that's going to help your immune systems. So thinking of all those little things that make a big difference, drinking lots of water, we need to do that. Eating well, as clean as we can, lots of fruits and vegetables, and trying to limit the processed food as much as we can. That's all going to help with our immune system. Supplement if and when you need to, but get as much as you can from great, good source food. Again, all these things are kind of pieces of the puzzle that builds that puzzle of a good immune system. And the more we can have that strong immune system, again, the less risk there will be of us just getting sick in general, whatever virus or cold or thing you want to talk about. And that generally, if you happen to get something, it'll be a little less severe because you can fight it off sooner or maybe limit the influence it has on your system. So all those steps in place for yourself and your family are going to pay off down the road. Preventative medicine, which if you've heard me, I believe here and on the other show I'm on, Three Not So Wise Men, every Monday night at 7:30, if you're around, shameless plug. It's upsetting to me how health and fitness and wellness hasn't really been discussed. I come at it from a physical standpoint, but mentally as well. That fitness and movement and taking care of ourselves helps our mental health as well. And a lot of us have a lot of heaviness we're dealing with right now from a variety of situations and circumstances going on in the world right now. So sometimes that, again, just movement doesn't even have to be intense exercise, just moving, getting out, stretching, walking, a bike ride, playing around in the water, going for a swim. Some of those things, just that mental break can give us a really good release and a chance to, again, recover and reset, which we need. So hopefully someone somewhere will start to promote that from a governing body and mention that, so that we can. Winter's coming. And that's the concern, is that with winter coming, we're going to be inside more. And that's when things could come up because we're not as active, we're not outside as much. So think of things you can do to be outside. Think of activities you can take part in. Think of things you can do for yourself to help that immune system, to help you feel better, to take care of yourself. Think of a winter activity maybe that you like to do. If you don't have one, maybe try to find one, or at least try to find a way to be outside. Again, maybe even you just bundle up, go outside on your front step and just get some fresh air, sit for a minute, say hi to a neighbor, walk to the mailbox and back. Something just to get outside once in a while and do something, and to be somewhat social, obviously from a safe perspective, physical distance and following regulations, but being social still is important. So that's, again, coming back to what we started with, our teamwork. That part of the team is important by having those people that you can chat with, whether it's on a platform like this or calling on the phone or someone you can meet with. And again, if they're not within your close circle, you can be physically distant with, but still socialize. We need that. That's why the kids are so excited to go back to school. They're excited to get back with their teams, their teachers and their friends, and socialize and get away from their parents for a little bit. That's their team. That's their network. That's how they learn and grow. So again, coming back to what we were talking about, just really focusing on being supportive of each other, whether that's in people's decisions, whether that's, again, in your processes to control how you and your family are taking care of yourselves. That's going to help you and other people that you're working with or in school with as well. So be mindful that we can't control what they're doing, but as long as we control what we're doing, again, we reduce that risk and put ourselves in the best place possible. And ideally, they're all doing that as well. And I think for the most part, people are aware of it and doing the best they can. Thinking of it as well from a teamwork perspective, if you have kids going to school, that it's still a team between yourself and the teacher. Just because they're going back to school, the teachers aren't responsible for everything, remember. It's teachers and parents. So keeping good communication back and forth, again, staying up to date on what's going on, understanding that when the kids get home, we need to be diligent with what they're doing, with what they're eating, with how they're taking care of themselves at nighttime, getting that sleep, and all those sorts of things, just like the teachers are heading to the front line and being responsible for our children when they're at school, making sure they're eating well and physical distancing as much as they can, or being in cohorts so they're only around the same circle of people every day. It takes teamwork. It takes everyone working together to do that. And especially if you have younger children, you've really got to guide them and coach them through a lot of this. Older kids you will, but hopefully not all the time or not as often, because they'll get it and be more independent with it. But if you have younger children or grandchildren around, then that's maybe going to take a little more coaching, and some have even said policing, as far as trying to do the best we can. It's not going to be 100% perfect because they're kids and they're going to play and want to do things. But again, we just control what we can and do the best that we can to lead by example and to educate and guide them as best we can. And again, work on that teamwork between yourselves and the educators. Again, just like you would on people you work with, you got to work together to meet that deadline, to get that project done, to submit that proposal. You got to work together. Everyone does their kind of different components sometimes, but we come together for a common cause. And that's kind of like this. The teachers have the day, parents take over in the evening and weekends, but we want to have the same kind of result. Everyone stays healthy. Everyone can stay at school with their friends and socially develop the way children need to. They get that mental, again, relief. They get to have lots of fun and things that kids need. But again, we can all stay safe and healthy. And that's the goal. That's the dream work that the teamwork should make. If you, again, see the caption that I put on Facebook, that's the dream work we want. That's the dream, is to make sure everyone can go back and be healthy. So again, as your things are opening up, be aware, be cognizant of what you're doing. Be aware of the decisions you make. Again, you can only control what you can control, but make sure you're controlling that. Then that way, there's less chance that the non-controllables will have that severe of an effect on you. But again, if you take care of yourself, we reduce that risk. So control the controllables. And you've heard me say that before, but it's so important as things open up and maybe we're around more people or situations are changing at work and school and things like that. So again, do the best to take care of yourself. We've talked before about creating that post-pandemic lifestyle, being able to take some of those good habits, whether it was, again, the fitness, the nutrition, the hygiene, and making sure there's ways to fit those in your daily routine, even though you're back at work or school and those sorts of things. So make sure you're doing that. If you haven't, please do so. Take the rest of this week, book some time for yourself to plan that out. How am I going to keep these things I did during the pandemic into this schedule? We may not be post-pandemic just yet, but we're trying to get there. Things are opening up and trying to get somewhat of a normalcy, or I called it a week or so ago, more of a routine-based life. I mean, it's not normal maybe right now, but it's a routine-based, and we're getting back to that with, again, the kids being at school and us being at work. So it's going to take a big collaboration every day. to make this work. Again, we're a team here. You're in your own teams with your families and colleagues and coworkers, and we're all one big team in the city, province, state, country, world, because we're all going through this together. So we're all hopefully being on the same team. Again, we won't get into the discussion of who's doing what. That's a whole other show. But sometimes, if you watch any sports, sometimes teams don't work. They don't gel, they don't mesh, certain parts don't work. So that's when trades and things happen to make the team kind of an efficient system. So not everyone's going to be perfect, but again, we control what we can control, and ideally, the majority will rule and take over eventually, because our positivity, our mindset, our ways of things will outnumber those who maybe aren't doing the same thing. And if not, maybe they'll go their way and we'll go our way, and we'll just have our own little system for now. We'll have our own way of doing things until things kind of wrap around and clear up, which is hopefully very soon. But try to think of ways that, again, you can take care of yourself, and that's going to help those around you be cared for as well. Teamwork makes the dream work. Think of that dream being that healthy, minimal risk kind of way of life, so that we can go outside and go to places down the road and not maybe need our masks so often. We've taken care of ourselves. If we don't feel well, then maybe we bring the mask back to make sure we're not spreading anything. I feel that's something that may stick around past this pandemic, where you see that maybe in more of an Asian culture where they have the masks on. Sometimes it's for pollution, but sometimes it's also because they're sick and they don't want to spread that. So they put that mask on so they can still do day-to-day things. That could be something that sticks around here when this is over, just to be sure everyone's doing well. Who knows? We're not out of the woods yet, and I hope in a way that we don't go back to the way things were before the pandemic. We should be advancing and progressing. That should be the other part of the dream that the teamwork's going to build towards. We all want to be better coming out of this. So we're better people, we're more evolved. And again, that should diminish the chance we can maybe get the COVID-19, and it'll diminish how severe it treats us if we do come down with it. And ideally, we prevent these outbreaks from happening again, because again, we're smarter, we're taking better care of ourselves and those around us. We have better systems in place. Hopefully health and fitness and mental health options are seen as more preventative medicine, and how important they are, and are given more of a spotlight by those high-ranking officials than they are now. Hopefully those things all come into place, because the smart people have said this is type of thing's going to happen. These outbreaks and these different things, it's possible to happen again. If you watch things, this type of thing was predicted years ago. So again, the more we can take care of ourselves, then again, we can keep the team stronger. If we're all part of the team, I stay healthy, you take care of yourself, you're doing what you need to do, you're looking after yourself, then we're going to stay strong and healthy as a collective unit. So then again, that can maybe spread out, because your team and your team and your team extends out from this team with your families and colleagues. So then that's that ripple effect. Pebble in the water makes a big ripple effect. The positivity pandemic we've talked about, that's part of that now, is keep taking care of ourselves and continuing to do so to maintain our health, because we're more exposed to people and everything going on, and seasons are changing, and what's going to happen. Again, there's so much unknown. But what we do know is that if we take better care of ourselves, we can reduce the risk, because we're healthier. Our immune system's able to fight things off. And Bonnie says, a while ago, Bonnie, self-care is essential. So true, Bonnie, very important. It's essential, and so many of us don't do enough of it. Usually our self is the first thing to be moved aside to make room for others, or other deadlines or things that are approaching. And in reality, it should be the first thing we keep on our list, because it's so important for us. It'll help us do those other things that we need to do. We may have to modify our self-care, and we talked about that, maybe compromise it a little bit, where maybe it's not an hour of this or 2 days a week of that. Maybe you have to change it a little bit and modify it, but we still want to keep that in. It's so very essential for physical reasons, for mental reasons, for both working together. We need that self-care. It's so important, whether it's, again, fitness, if it's massage, if it's counseling, if it's foam rolling, if it's hanging out with friends, if it's painting, if it's reading, if it's music, some combination of all that stuff. We need that self-care. We need to take care of ourselves. We need the yin and the yang. We need that balance of go and rest, relax. That's how the body repairs and adjusts. That's how the mind repairs and adjusts and comes down and takes a break. And then again, we come back at things with a new focus, a new vigor, a new perspective. And again, we'll probably get more things done by taking that rest. So again, take care of yourselves. Don't put yourself on the back burner. Keep yourself up front. Again, maybe you've got to turn the temperature down a little bit so you don't get that usual schedule. That's why we've been talking since phase 1 here in Ontario. I mentioned start planning for post-pandemic so that you can fit these things in. Remember, we still have the same amount of time every day, 24 hours. But now some of our time is filled again with our work or school or whatever it is you have going on. So we're getting back to maybe not having the time to do things, but everyone has the same amount of time. We just have to make the time to do the things that are important to us. And you should be the most important thing to you, because then again, those people and things that are important to you, like your family, your partners, then you can take even more care of them, better care of them, because you are at such a high level. You are feeling so well. You have such great energy. You are so relaxed. You're able to handle situations proactively and not necessarily reactively. So you can come at situations with a better perspective. And that's what your contribution to the team is, taking such good care of yourself that you can better take care of those around you. And those that are around you will probably see you taking such good care of yourself. And they'll go, hey, look at that. If they feel that good, taking that good care of themselves, maybe I should take better care of myself. And then you don't have to take as much care of them because they're doing a little bit more as well. And then again, that brings everybody up a little bit more. Be that role model. I heard Blake talked about it, I believe, in our episode on Monday night. And I've mentioned it here before of how we role model, even though we don't necessarily know we're role modeling to people, or we choose to. People see us, people interact with us. They know, whether they know us or not, there's people we interact with every day that we can influence and role model based on what we're doing, good or bad. So the more we can model those good behaviors, it's so much better for us, but it's also better for those we interact with and those we deal with. And then again, that's the positivity pandemic. That's the spreading of good energy, of light, of positivity, of good self-care, of self-confidence and self-esteem. All those things spread out and people see that. They feed off that energy. That gives you motivation and inspiration to do the things you want to do. It's that cycle of things going around and around. So I want you to think of again, teamwork makes the dream work. That's our kind of mantra for the rest of the week and going forward. Again, when people are going back to school and back to work, it's been a difficult time for everyone. Just in addition to all the other stuff that's been going on this year, a variety of circumstances and things to deal with that we've dealt with and are currently dealing with and will be dealing with for a long time. Things are heavy. We need to, again, work together, be supportive of each other as best we can. Again, even if you don't maybe agree with what the person's saying, if it's someone you are dealing with, try to be as supportive as you can. And if it's someone that you think, you know what, I really can't be associated with that decision, then maybe try to distance yourself a little bit. Renandez, hello, welcome. But we need to be supportive of each other as best we can, because it's a difficult time. There's difficult decisions that are being made, that will be made, that need to be made in the future. So let's try to really build up our support system. Remember, they say you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So again, maybe it's time to look at your circle of friends, who you're surrounding yourself with. Are they similar to you in energy and perspective and mindset and desired outcomes? If so, great. They're going to build you up. You're going to build them up. It's a great support system. If you're not, then again, maybe we need to look at that, where you can find that circle of friends, that group of friends. And again, with social media now and technology, my circle of friends aren't necessarily in Barrie. Some of them are, but some are in other provinces. Some are in other countries. Some of them are all over. There's people I can reach out to. And maybe I don't all the time, but there's some, if I need to, I can reach out to and say, this is going on. I know this person will have good advice, or will be a good ear to listen, or will be able to give me kind of impartial advice because they've been through it, or they're going through it, or gone through something similar. So again, it doesn't always have to be the people you spend the most time with in person. It could be someone, a mentor or a colleague you can reach out to. But look at that. Look at your team. Is your teamwork going to make your dream work? And that's what we want right now, whatever your dream is. Again, we talked about the healthy society. That's kind of everyone's dream, I hope. But what's your dream? What are your goals that you set out 5 months ago, 5+ months ago? I guess almost 6 now. Next week will be 6, I think, when this started. So what are the goals and desires and dreams you had when we all started meeting together, or whenever you joined up? What are your goals? What are your dreams? What are your dreams? Mine is to speak better, apparently. What are your dreams? And does your teamwork support your dream work? And if it doesn't, then you may have to do a little audit and decide where maybe you need to make some changes, make some adjustments, some shifts, because you deserve to have a supportive system around you. We all deserve to have a great team around us to help us grow and develop and evolve and keep each other safe and healthy. So that's it for tonight, gang. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you being here, whether it's live or on the recording. Again, if you're watching via recording later, leave us a comment. Let us know where you're watching from, any thoughts you have about what I said, any comments, questions. Thanks to those who were here live and joined in and hopped in with some comments. I appreciate you being here. I love seeing everyone here. Love that we can all get together. Again, this is our team, and there's people here from all over the place. There's some of you that I've never met in person, but we've met through online music concerts and shows over the pandemic, but we've become a close-knit group and a team. So we can build on that. Some of you I've known for a long, long time. And again, I appreciate you being here and the support that everyone's showing and the interactions and the strong community we have. Bonnie says, her perspective, hatred is draining and senseless. Kindness is effortless and the possibilities are endless. Choose wisely. Awesome, Bonnie. I love that, Bonnie. So great. So again, hatred is draining and senseless. Kindness is effortless, which is true. It's so easy to be kind. Look, I was kind there. I just smiled. So easy. Simple little things. Possibilities are endless. Choose wisely, my friends. I added to my friends from the Wiser commercials. But awesome, Bonnie. Thanks for that. That's a great way to kind of sum everything up. And think of it, and then I'll sign off for sure this time. We talked about media, watching the media. That's heavy stuff. Try to limit that. That's watching press conferences and things online on Facebook sometimes, watching a video stream. The hatred and the ignorance and the insults that are thrown back and forth are ridiculous when we're just supposed to be watching something to get informed so that we can take better care of ourselves or to know what the new normals are. And there's so much hatred. It's senseless. It's ridiculous. When it's so easy just to take things in, have a discussion, or if you're not happy with what's going on, I've mentioned this before, find the right way to go about it. Find the right channels to go through. You making a post on a video of a news conference about the person making the news conference who isn't even going to watch that video isn't really going to change anything. If you're unhappy, go through what we need to go through. There's systems in place. There's things that we can do. There's policies where you can air your grievances. Maybe if enough people do that, then some people will go, oh, something's not right here because I got this pack of papers or these comments sent to me in an official way that people are upset. Maybe we should relook at what we're doing. But a hatred-filled comment on a social media post typically isn't the way to go. And unfortunately, that's why a lot of people do it, because they can just get it out there and be, yeah, look at me. And they know there's going to be no repercussions. It's kind of like if you work in a retail establishment or something where there's people above you and they make the decisions, but you're frontline staff. chances are you're going to hear from the customers when they're upset, when they have issues and complaints. And when you say, oh, here's my manager's card, or my manager's back there, I can get them if you want, then they kind of tone down, or, oh no, I'll do it later, or whatever. But it's easy to kind of vent at the person there because there's no repercussions. There's no thing coming back at them from that. It's easier to be kind of a keyboard warrior when you're just spewing things out there. And unfortunately, for a lot of us, that's so draining and that's so ridiculous that we stop watching things. I've stopped watching those press conferences. That used to be the way I stayed informed. Now I just go online and read articles that I know from a trusted source because I can't stand the hatred and the negativity going on. Same with the back to school press conferences. There was so much in the comments. I had to turn the comments off so I could just watch the video to actually get the information because it was so distracting to see all that garbage flowing through there. So I appreciate everyone here being so positive and so supportive of each other. And the times when you have a different opinion than me, which you should, well, no, you should. I'm just kidding. You should have your own opinions. I'm just giving mine and based on what I've seen and what I experienced. But if you have a different perspective, you're very responsible and very diligent and very appropriate in how you word that. You're very mature about it. You discuss it. You don't just say, you're an idiot and throw something in my face. And I appreciate that. That's the type of community I want to be involved with and surrounded by. That's teamwork, making the dream work. That's that part of it. So again, thanks, Bonnie, for sharing that. That's a great way to finish off the evening. Again, one more time, hatred is draining and senseless. Kindness is effortless, and the possibilities are endless, which is so true. So much can come from a little bit of kindness, and we never know what those possibilities are. And we may never know based on a certain person, but our kindness to them in that situation could make a world of difference to them. So again, be supportive of each other. Teamwork makes the dream work. Let's all work together to get through these difficult situations and these new and unexperienced times. And let's make the dream work, that we can be healthy, we can be happy, we can be supportive, we can be equal, and we can just live and be kind and happy and healthy. Stay safe, gang. Take care. Again, thank you so much for being here. Go drink lots of water. Go find something to make you smile, make you laugh tonight. Go get that fresh air break if you haven't already. And if you have, what the heck, have to. You're not driving. Enjoy the night, gang. What are we? Wednesday. Core Plus. Bonnie's excited. Core Plus tomorrow, 9 a.m. Live on Instagram and Facebook. So hopefully we'll see you there. We work the core from the chest, basically from the chest to the hips, front and back of the body, and those smaller muscle groups that don't get attention all the time, but are so important in movement and mobility. Sheila, hopefully we'll see you there as well now that you're back in town. So Core Plus tomorrow, full body Friday morning at 9 a.m. I'll be back Friday night with PatFacts. Sunrise Strong Fall Edition starting September 14th. I'll be posting more information about that tonight. But we're going from September 14th to October 26th. We're going to do a fall session, 6 weeks at Centennial Beach, down at the waterfront, 6 a.m. That's the only time that I'm offering this time because I've had people sign up for the last time, and my schedule with school and things won't allow any later times, unfortunately, at this time. So 6 a.m. bright and early, but we get up, we get the workout in, and the people who are coming have said how great they feel getting that checkbox filled in first thing in the morning. 6 a.m. the workout's done. They have tons of energy for their work the rest of the day, and they know that I got my workout in. That's that self-confidence of getting things done. So again, stay tuned for that tonight, or send me a DM if you have any questions. And again, online fitness coaching, online virtual classes coming soon, and Terry Fox Run, terryfox.org. to sign up. Look for Pat on Your Back Personal Fitness if you want to join the team, or if you want to sponsor the team. Again, you can look for that. Pat on Your Back Personal Fitness if you want to sponsor and support us. September 20th, a virtual run this year, so you can do it from wherever you are, wherever you're comfortable in running, walking, using wheels, whatever works for you. Okay, teamwork makes the dream work. Thank you for being such a great team member, a teammate to me and everyone else in the community. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll talk to you again soon. We'll see you tomorrow for Core Plus, 9 a.m. Friday morning, full body Friday, and I'll see you back here Friday night at 6 for the next edition of PatFacts. Take care, gang. Stay safe. We'll talk to you soon.